Hey, I'm back. I wanted to give you some feedback and the correct answers for the mealworm article you read. I'm not going to go through and read the whole thing, but I am going to read the questions and show you what the correct answers are and where I found them. So number 1 says, which question is answered in the section Popular Bugs for Kids? So we would scroll down there. And in this section, it talks about the 3 popular bugs for kids: crickets, the mealworm, which it says has a nutty flavor, the black ant, which they say tastes like lemon hard candy. So this section basically talks about what different bugs taste like and why they're popular for kids. So it doesn't talk about how long people have eaten bugs. It doesn't talk about how eating bugs helps the environment, and it doesn't talk about how many people normally eat bugs, but it does tell us how some bugs taste. Number 2, which sentence from the introduction explains why eating meat can be bad for the planet? Now, you have already read this, and I have already read this, so I'm going to scroll down to where it talks about meat. And it says, also the earth is heating up. Scientists say it is partly because of the meat we eat. So we know that because we eat meat, it's causing the earth to heat up. And these farm animals release methane into the air. And methane is a greenhouse gas, and they trap heat in the air, causing the earth to warm up. So why is it bad to eat meat? Well, it's definitely not because of the United Nations report. It does say that in the introduction, but that's not why eating meat is bad for the earth. Eating bugs could be good for the environment. Well, it does say that in this section, but that has nothing to do with why eating meat can be bad for the planet. And some chefs want us to try bugs for dinner. Again, it does say that in the introduction, but that's not why it's bad to eat meat. So your correct answer should have been farm animals release methane into the air. Number 3, read the following sentence from the section Tasty and Healthy. He encourages people to try edible insects. Which word could replace encourages without changing the meaning of the sentence? So I'm going to replace the word encourages with each of these words. He feeds people to try edible insects. Well, that doesn't even make sense. He urges people to try edible insects. Well, urges means like you're trying really hard. So he's pressuring people to try edible insects. He orders people to try edible insects. Well, if you're ordering somebody, that means you're like demanding them to do it. You're telling them they have to do it. And he's not telling them, he's encouraging them. He's trying to get them to, but he's not making them. And he opposes people to try edible insects. That would mean he doesn't want them to try insects, and the whole article is about eating insects. So your best answer there is going to be B. And then the last question, read the sentence from the section Popular Bugs for Kids. In total, they have about the same amount of protein as beans, meat, or fish. So that is found right here. What does the word total mean? Well, we know from math that total is the whole, but again, I'm going to replace that word total with each of these words. In food, they have about the same amount of protein as beans, meat, or fish. That doesn't really make sense because insects aren't food. Well, they are food in this case, but that one doesn't quite make sense. In part, they have about the same amount of protein as beans, meat, or fish. Well, that one could be an option, but in some, they have about the same amount of protein as beans, meat, or fish. That doesn't even make sense. In whole, they have about the same amount of protein as beans, meat, or fish. I would say whole there because we know total and whole are the same thing, so I would say whole is our best answer choice there. All right, guys, I will talk to you later.